thought about making a film called Polyamory and Consent. And the idea would be that whether you like monogamy or polyamory, one love or many loves, conceptual understanding of polyamory does not mean you're going to be attracted to everyone. It's just not happening. So, being able to talk about polyamory as a mentality doesn't necessarily mean someone's flirting with you or something. And the reason why this is so fresh on my mind is I had this incident of a guy who I perceived as a friend coming on to me way too heavily in a way that made me feel uncomfortable, and then eventually, non-consensually, pinning me on a couch in some show of force, grabbing and pinching my arms very tightly with this like look on his face. And it was, I don't know what was going through his mind. He won't tell me. I imagine maybe he wanted to sleep with me, or he was mad that he couldn't, or mad that I wanted him to leave. But I found it really traumatizing because I'm all for friendship and I'm all for communication. And some people, your friendship is purely platonic, and some people there's a little bit of attraction going on there. And I would say that was what the case was a little bit of attraction, but an understanding that was very explicit that I'm occupied. So, consent for everything, and not forced consent, not consent which is conditional, or given unfreely, given for other reasons. So, I think progressive, pseudo-progressive men with their bourgeois morality system need to check out consent theory, radical consent, the idea of not being super pushy, too. Super pushy's not cool. And then I think the thing that is just more of like a personal preference for me, which is that if I like someone, I'll just go tell them and ask them out. Like, I have no problem. But a lot of my too persistent guy friends who think they can have something with me, will still be haranguing me about it years later. I'm like, if I liked you, I would have had no, Peter Cordes, one of the most beautiful men I ever met. I just totally walked up and was like, can I give you my number? I'm not shy. So, because I'm polite about not saying you're really ugly, you need to get out of my face, I think sometimes I mislead certain men, or maybe I'm like, oh, that's nice, that's flattering. So watch out for these scorned men who see that they're never going to be your primary love affair and then want to attack you in violence, because that's what I'm dealing with. And I feel like the aftermath of just feeling like I lost a friendship, or that his out of control behavior was so terrifying that I really just lost interest in him as a human being. It's true. It's because he didn't respect my consent or my boundaries, or make any verbal elocution towards, is this okay? Or is it alright if I put my arm around you? Is it? And if he had, That would have been like super cool. And because he didn't, I have this like, I'll never trust you again feeling. So I'm trying to like crash course him in thinking about that. But I realized he wanted me to keep this dirty little secret. And while he didn't rape me, he did assault me by pinning me against my will for this like brutal moment where I'm like, oh my god, what's happening? Is he going to rape? And he had just told me about his STDs. So I finally realized, whoa, fear of him attacking me with this disease profile was even more of a, it added an element of fear to his coercion. And I think because I did like him as a friend or as an intellect, I made some attempts to pretend nothing happened, but it just kept eating me. And Angst eats the soul sometimes. Angst essen die Seele auf. And so I've dealt with it. A week ago, I got an apology letter, which it took months and months of waiting and waiting and waiting until I had to like force the issue by getting him in trouble and pointing out to his friends and whatnot he might be a persistent danger, or he might be doing this to coworkers or his girlfriend or whomever he wants to overpower. And he's not a little 10-year-old boy, and I'm not his little brother that he's bullying. So why he had to employ that behavior upon me? I think he has some secret sadism issue that is just way too deep for me. So he's busy being a pillar of society, picking up a city salary. But I know what he is. He's like kind of a mini Glenn Thrush or any of these numerous men who've fallen in the Me Too era. So I'm not sure what's next. If I take it to the council or take it to the board meeting. I don't like that his apology is only half of what I requested. I requested an apology, but I also requested an explanation. He's given me his number, so he wants it. Just like to give an oral report on why he did that. I think what is more tragic than anything, too, is that in presuming that possibly he assaulted me in love, or he had some love, passion for me, that somehow, is that a mitigating factor? It doesn't matter if your stalker loves you, right? So I think I started to see through my own BS and realize making excuses for him was hurting him. It could be hurting his loved ones or his immediate contacts. So I think I did the right thing. But as Maria said, if he was forced into apologizing by his boss, which he had asked me to work for his organization after he did this assault, then I realized, yeah, I just gotta call his boss and be like, no, I can't work for this guy because he's cornered me, he's gropey, he's grabby, he's creepy. And that gave me the fact that he kind of put it into that lane, it really just sort of helped in its own way. It's all meaningless human existence. But I'll just cut it there. Polyamory and consent. Polyamory's not bad, but consent has to be there. Mutuality and reciprocality.